Yeah. You know that much about me? Yeah. Hold up. What?
I didn't think about that.
Yeah. We're live. We're
Going
live.
hard.
There we go. We're live. Yeah, we're live on both. There we go. Boom. Let me check it out.
See how we're sounding. See how we're sounding up the road. See how we're going with this new freehand technique, guys? Okay, we're going to go freehand. Let it flow. Let it flow. Look at all these things I can do with my hands now. I can put you with me. You can come all the way back
We
here
can
with
be
me.
anywhere.
Or you can leave with me.
We can be
I
anywhere.
might leave. I might take you out of another room. I'll take you out of the door. We got a new room going on here. Okay? There'll be a lot of upgrades. But we ain't did a cast in a long time.
I think we sounding good. I think we sounded solid. We sounded fire.
You sounded
We sounded fire. We sounded fire. My voice is thick. Slim thick.
Oh, it's like a soda can, boy.
No, we sound good. You sounding good, dog?
Okay.
Man.
All right. Let me share that.
Oh, yeah. I got to get a share out immediately. We got the new beautiful.
Put something on there.
What? What?
You gotta spice it up.
We got the new beautiful ass room. We gotta get some local artists to commission us some goddamn art so we can decorate this nice ass room that we got going on. But no one's got a fucking artistic room going up in this bitch.
We need
all like the Picasso. We need all local artists. We're calling
art.
Any local art, and we're gonna like bomb this goddamn wall with some shit. I really think you should try to call dude Yoni, bro. I think you should try to call Yoni up. Like, I think he would love to make something for this thing. Like, it'd be so insane to like. How would you feel about someone reaching out to you like that? Like someone you met like 2 years ago. I mean, that's not even that far ago, bro. It's like a year ago. You know what I'm saying?
It's so funny you say that, bro.
1 year ago.
Fucking, I was just watching the thing with Steve Jobs, and he was saying kind of something similar to that. He was like, I think a lot of times the difference in people that think and people that do is the doing and the asking. You know, and he was like, everybody that I ever asked for help was usually willing to give it to me. And that really hit me, bro, because I'm not that kind of person. I'm always the person that's like, man, you can ask for that. You sound like a clown asking for that. I'm not going to ask for nothing. I'll do it without asking. But then, like what you just said right there, right, is like, well, what if someone called you up or asked you? It's like, well, I would totally do it. But you don't think that way about others? No. Why? We're very sick with how we're doing this.
I mean, you know, like, yes, but like, also, but kind of like, no. I mean, like, you, especially when you're friends, it's like, you know, those, like, this is the people that you rely on, and that, like, they're gonna be there for you. You know what I'm saying? If they fucks with you, they're gonna be there.
So when you're saying that right there, when you say no, okay, are you saying that? Are you saying that everybody's not as nice as you? That's basically what you're saying. You're basically saying that you think you're nicer than most people.
So
do you think that about yourself?
So like, you know, like especially people who are close to me, I'm gonna be there. Like whenever you need me, like it's just like, hey, you know, I need help doing this. I'm gonna come and try to like, you know, help my best I can. I'm gonna try and help the best I can. You know, I think some people. I mean, there are definitely people who I would be more reluctant to help than others, you know. But for the most part, I just know I would help on, you know, most things. You know, as long as I'm available, people hit me up. They want a ride somewhere, like they need me to pick them up. They're straight on the side of the road, like they need help. Like I'll come help.
So, but just answer it. I need a straight answer now. At the end of the day here.
Yeah, if I'm nicer than most people,
I
do think I'm nicer than I won't say most people. But I'm on the nicer side, definitely. You know.
So how you're what, the top 10% of best people or something? How are you trying to classify?
I would like to think so.
Well, you're saying you're not as nice as most people.
I'm not as nice. No,
that's what you just said.
No, I'm saying like, you know, I'm saying that there are probably just as many people who are nice like me than there are people that wouldn't. That's what I was saying, you know.
So
like,
why don't you think you could just go up to people and ask them if you think that you would help? You see what I mean? That's what I'm saying.
Just go up to strangers, like people you don't know.
You're saying that if someone came up to you that you had met 2 years ago, that's what you asked me, right? Somebody came to you met you a year ago, and asked you to do something like that. That's not even like a big favor, neither. Like asked you to create some art. You're telling me that you wouldn't do it. You know what I mean?
Oh no, I mean, you're not helping someone, you know,
would
like
do it, right? You would be like, okay,
I would commission
them. You would try to help them, right?
Yes.
But
I think it's actually pretty cool.
You're not willing to do it to someone else because
it'd be pretty cool.
Because you're not willing to do that. Because you're not willing to do that to someone else. Because why? Because you think that person wouldn't be as nice as you. Because you're saying you would do it. You know what I mean? But then at the same time, you're saying that you think there's just as many people that are as nice as you. So that's what I'm saying. It doesn't completely add up. You know?
I'm definitely a little confused with there, but
You're saying there's
I
plenty of people
wouldn't-
that are as nice as you, right?
I think
That are as
yeah,
nice
yeah,
as you, right?
Yeah.
So that would mean a lot of people that you see every day are at least just as nice as you, right? And you would help someone that you met a year ago to call you up, but you wouldn't ask someone. That's what I'm saying. Like you wouldn't want to make that call yourself and ask someone for that favor. I'm the same.
Someone a year ago, 2 years ago. Okay.
I'm the same way. I'm the same way. I'm not trying to say just you. I'm saying like we would like I don't want to call Yoni up and be like, hey, remember a year ago? You see what I mean? But I'm in the same boat.
I think
but
with
here
art,
we're like we don't want to call that person.
I think with with art, like you can call. Really, I think anybody. I was like, as an artist, it'd be like, hey, yeah, what's up? Like, yeah, I can definitely put something together for you. What are you thinking? Like, or try just do you? Just like I would just tell them to do them. But let's say Yoni calls you. He's on the side of the road. We might go pick up Yoni. We have a soft spot for Yoni. But someone you met a year ago, Space Jam calls you. Sorry, you didn't like Space Jam. But like, that's what I'm trying to say. You wouldn't go help that person. But like art's different. Like I think at any point, be like, hey, I met you at that Dreamscape Festival, and the painting that I purchased one of your pieces. I would like another piece. Let me know what you have, for sale or what you're trying to sell, and I can make an offer from there. We can negotiate from there. And I think anybody who was an artist, like if you saw anybody, a musician, a painter, collage artist, any type of artist you could think of, and they hit you, you hit them up 2 years down the road, I think they would be ecstatic that you remembered them. I think that it'd be awesome for them to create that piece for you, and I'm sure they even remember you and that interaction. And if not, it'd still be cool to get a piece from that. But you're not gonna help them on the side of the road. He probably won't come help you on the side of the road.
It's so funny how many times we have talked about this guy, bro. If only he knew how much he lived on from that moment. We was at a festival. See, that's what I'm saying. We got to start filling people in.
Yoni was a great guy.
You know what I mean? Because we're leaving people out of details here.
I feel like we've glossed over Yoni before,
Okay,
though.
well, let's just clear it up. We'll clear it up real quick. Was that, I get too fucked up too quick at this festival. I go running out of the dance area. And I run into this guy that's creating this awesome piece of art. And it was just so fucking cool. Had so many dimensions to it. I try to buy it. He's like, it's already sold. I give him $20 for anything else he got in his pocket. He gives me this great painting. We have this awesome convo. He asked to hear some music. It's just a cool exchange. I still got his thing to this day, and I framed it. And I still have the video too that I got you to record of like me trying to convince this guy like stay another day. And he was just an awesome vibe and making awesome art. I appreciate that so much, bro. Creating in ideas, bro. Like they're just the two most attractive things to me in any person. Like I'm at the point now where like, dude, if I see somebody that has ideas, I'm coming up to them. I'm going to hug them. I'm going to let them know what, I went to that open mic, right? And I can't tell you how good it felt going up to all of these people, bro, these musicians. And you know what's cool, bro, is I was like, should I go up and only say the positives that I say? I was like, no, I'm going to go up and they want to hear it. I was like, oh my God, I tried to say it appropriately, man. I talked to like 4 of these artists. One was a comedian, but 3 musicians. And I told them like, hey man, I like that you're doing this. This is who you remind me of. I like that you're doing this. You ever thought of like not trying this as much or this? Just talking to them about you. They were all so happy, bro. I told the one guy, I'm like, I love that chorus you had on there, bro. That was catchy. That would work. He was so happy, man. I told this other guy, I'm like, you might be a Jason Mraz, bro. He's like, it's one of my favorite artists. Like, it was so cool to see these people. Like, you can tell that doesn't happen often. And it's a lot of people think that of that person. They see that performance and they think it, but they don't come up to them and say these things. They won't say it, and go, hey, you remind me of somebody that already made it. Like that's good to hear for somebody. That guy loved Jason Mraz. He's like, I just seen him a month ago. Jason Mraz, bro, was like fucking 15 years ago. He made one song. I don't know if anybody remembers him, bro. But like,
Some people love some Jason Mraz.
But look, I seen that in him. You see what I mean? And that that's one of his favorite artists. But it just, you just have to be able to relay these things.
He loved it. He loved it.
He loved it, man. I met another cool guy down there that was like, we were just talking about things. He was giving me like all these this like advice on going up there and like how you can do it. Like he's in a band, but he's trying to do like his own, ideas. So he's going out like trying open mics and shit. I'm like, I went up to him like, you know how to write a song? Maybe you could try this with your voice. I gave him a couple, like my musical, I don't know nothing about music, bro, but like my musical depth is deep. So you know how I feel about the face thing? I feel like I can almost do that when somebody does music. Like I'm like, oh, I'll attach like, oh, you're more of like this. You ever heard this person? Because it's who that person reminds me of. So I picture like maybe that's the slot they would fill for society, is that person that's no longer there, but you still have that,
That's the weird thing though, is like what's known about like music. Like I think there's definitely practical things in music, but like I think rigid music rules might be like, like some like the worst thing is like, I don't know anything about music. I'm not a musician. Like I don't, like.
Well, that's what we're here to do, is talk about
exactly. So so with music, I think when you have these rigid music rules, like musical theory, like I think it all has its applications, but like I don't think that may be what muddies up the art rather than actually assist it. I mean, because it's just about the creative expression. I mean, there are plenty of songs out there that don't, I wouldn't say, break most musical rules in a sense and sound great, or people love them and they catch on and they're number one hits. The rigidity, it definitely would help. Knowing what an eighth note, quarter note, half note, all those things would definitely help. But I just think it's just about getting on there sometimes and just wailing to the music that you feel. It's like dance moves, It's like you can tell when something's choreographed and you can tell when something's a little freestyle.
So the thing, you like I could do this too.
Yeah, you just you could keep it with you the whole time.
So the thing about that, right, is that yes, and like I told you, like I probably don't even write music how a lot of people write music, but that's true. The problem is when you go to write your own sample, right? So I'm gonna plug into this interface with my piano and try to write a sample for my own beat, but I don't know how to write a key. So it's like technically I can't even write the music that I would need to do. So that's when it comes to me. I'm like, C key D. Thanks for things when you're trying to learn the instruments.
100%.
Because it's like you're gonna go all off ear, and then you're not gonna be able to, like, eventually. Let's say you really try to take music to this level, or whatever it is, whatever art it is, you're gonna have to structure it. Like people, you're gonna need whatever it is structure. Even like with the album, like an album's supposed. People don't even know that, bro. But like an album is supposed to tell the story from track one to the last track. It's supposed to be a movie, a book, a story that you go through. That's why you're not supposed to skip them when you listen to an album. You listen to the first one, you go through it. Then you can skip it. I'm not saying you can't skip a song you don't like. I'm saying you go to 1 to 2 to 3 to 4 because they're lined up a specific way.
Yes, I think it's tough because like I don't think a lot of people follow that formula as much anymore. There's a lot more popular back in the days. Like you came along kind of like for the experience, like you think about it for the experience from like from back in the day. I mean, again, I could be wrong. It seems that most albums that come out nowadays, I'm sure there's some that are like that, but it seems that most just they do have a flow, but it's not much of a story. It's just kind of like a musical rhythm, I've been flow. Like there's
like For Your Eyes Only. Beautiful masterpiece.
100%. That definitely follows
a crazy story.
That definitely follows it.
Follows it from beginning to end.
You can find
a lot of J. Cole's works like that.
Yep.
Kendrick Lamar's works like that. So like, there's plenty of people that do it. And also think about this, like they're not even the ones that choose that fucking track order, bro. Most of them have already been signed and sold out, bro. Like if it's not their producer, then it's gonna be like the label itself deciding. Like, bro, a lot of them, like, that's what I'm saying, it's sick, man. Lights, right? It's sick because a lot of them don't even get to choose what tracks make their albums, bro. It's very fucked up.
That's what makes the music scene like really muddy, but it doesn't make sense because like people still they still create this music, they still put it out there. I don't understand why they don't have that creative control over it to be able to put the music out in the format that they want and the story that they want to tell. And that's what's going. The music still pops though. Regardless of all that, though, the music still pops, and these artists still make big money, and they still go off.
Right, but think about this. So think about when this music pops, right? It's almost like a steroid for an athlete, bro. Right?
Mm-hmm.
You're gonna have a great season, but are you gonna have a great career?
Yes.
Right? You see what I mean here? So it's not always about popping. Right? It's about staying consistent. That's what I was trying to explain the other day on that post. I don't know if you've seen, like, you're talking about an artist that's going to go 10, 20 years of producing art for you. You're going to have a lot of shit that doesn't hit, bro. Because sometimes that piece of art is meant for a specific moment. So there could be a time where this sad piece of art is for you, but it's not right now. And that's why you put it out there. So someone can go 12 years later and go, why do most artists get famous after they're dead? A lot of these artists, they die broke. A lot of these famous musicians died broke. Why is that? Because but they put the art out there, and then people take that, right? And it's a beautiful thing with sampling and things like that. Like now we're sampling the samples, but we're keeping that art alive in many other forms. You see that thing about that? What's that? I forget her name. But the woman from Stranger Things with the song, not from Stranger Things, but who did the song on it. It's a 30-year-old song, bro. And this woman's making $1 million a week right now because they used her song in Stranger Things. Which people is a show.
People loved it.
1985 she made it. So it's like, what, 35 years? You know what I mean? 37 years here. Well, it's like crazy, bro. But because she put that art out there. Now, at that time, nobody was like, this song's worth $1 million a week. But it was there. And it's sometime throughout these stars and this movie connected, bro. Somebody was like, this is meant for this audience on this show. Then you take it from there. Like you take that and you go, oh, that song was great because you watched it on the couch, snuggled up with the love of your life, watching Stranger Things episode 4 or what, you know what I mean? It's like the memory, the moment, everything comes into that. So the true geniuses are people like Jay-Z, bro. It's people like that. Honestly, like you could say whatever you want, but it's literally like the Paul McCartney, bro. Like even people like that, like people that stayed consistent, dog. Because I can go through the Fetty Waps, the Young Thugs, the Little Yachties. Like those people, they pop when they pop, then they gone. And the people that stick around, bro, are the real ones.
Yeah, Yachty was on a little longer than Designer.
But who popped harder? Was it Yachty's Broccoli?
I think Yachty stayed on.
Yachty's Broccoli was
Yachty stayed on for a while after that, but he was putting out.
I don't even remember.
He was definitely
what
up
was the
there,
Designer song? I don't even remember it.
He had Panda, and then it came out with Timmy Turner, and that was kind of it.
Timmy Turner
with the banger
song.
You know, like Timmy Turner. Like, I mean, that
wasn't even a real song. What was going on there?
Yeah, but I mean, that was the only other
one.
You
see what I mean? Like these people are gonna come and go, bro. It's these people the other artists that you love is always trying to say is they're gonna make so much art that a lot of it will not resonate with you, and it might not resonate. Don't say this is trash. Don't call nobody's art trash, bro. I don't even care if it's mumble rap. Don't call nobody's art trash, right? You just don't take it. You don't like it. It's okay to say this doesn't resonate with me. Don't say it's trash, bro, because that's what I'm saying about the Stranger Things. 30 years later, you could go, God damn.
That song.
I like songs that I like songs that I didn't exist when they were made. Right? How does that work? Because they never die. They never leave.
Thank you. Yeah.
That's what, and like, take it, let it go, and don't hold it over that artist's head the next time around. Like, are you gonna be like, oh, he made a bad album last time, so I'm not gonna listen to my favorite artist?
It's wild. It's wild. Some songs become like cultural phenomenons where they're just kind of ingrained in the. So like you go back, you do Backstreet Boys comes on.
What is that?
Keep your frame rate too low.
So
I think this is pretty much always up, bro.
Is it?
Yeah, too low FPS. Always up.
Well, are we glitchy?
And the videos always look good though. Oh, videos always look good.
Sorry.
No.
Sorry
No,
to
the
interrupt.
videos
That's
look
the
good.
action needed.
But the songs that become cultural phenomenon, you got that Iron Man song, you get some Metallica songs, you get TNT, by
Yeah.
fucking and then you have the White Stripes with their song, like people, it just becomes ingrained in cultural stuff. Mr. Brightside,
Yeah.
it becomes like it is the pinnacle of that. It's a forever song. It's a forever song. The video is looking straight.
We're good, right? Yeah.
It just becomes a forever song.
Bro.
It's around forever in everyone's minds. Journey
I'm
is
glad
still
we're
being
talking
taught
about
to everybody today.
Listen, dog, the game has changed though, bro. And it's that same thing, but you know what it is now? You want to be. I don't know how much game I should be giving out.
You get too much free game. Subscribe on Patreon for the next clip.
$1 million worth of game. You want to be a TikTok reel song, bro. That's what you want to be. And now, and that's where we're at right now in the world. And really, you don't got to be a song. You just want to be a TikTok reel. So if you notice, like everybody tries to like narrate their own videos on TikTok now because they put that MP3 or MP4 link in the song on there, or in that speech.
You can go find that song on all platforms.
You click on that, and then
there.
you add that to yours. You see, everybody wants to be the person that's added to another person's video. Where like it's talking to. I don't know how much you watch it, and I watch like a lot of YouTube reels, so the TikTok ones pop up. I don't even got a TikTok. But I've seen the algorithm.
They get reposted everywhere.
I've studied the algorithm, and I also studied like people that made it through there. You know,
the algorithm studied you.
Yeah, exactly, right? But like, they're on there, and like, there will be like, there's one on there right now. It's like, oh, we're doing it again. What? It's like heart. What? We're leaving. Then it's like, yep. Like this time, you know what's scary? Might not come back. That right there, just like it's like something like that. There's like that little. Somebody made that shit. It's nothing, and it's been used 1 trillion times, bro.
My favorite one. It's a car driving in like a sunny sunset, and the guy's narrating. It's like a deep manly voice. He's just like, no one cares if the man's hurting.
Yeah. Oh my god. Yeah.
Because the man just puts his head down and keeps trucking forward.
Yeah. And those ones are like, it's like, I love the one that's like, be a man, pull your back out. Like, that was a good one. You know what I mean? It's like, and then like people just lifting heavy shit with their backs. So I'm like, that fucking works.
Yeah, some of those really do
like,
pop.
Like, I'm watching these artists on there, and they've got like 6 bars. And this 6 bars carries them 10 million fucking videos.
Oh, man.
I'm like, bro, if we're doing that,
and sometimes it's only a snippet where we're like,
that
song was really only a snippet.
Song don't even exist.
And then they make the song after that because it goes all over the place.
Song didn't even exist.
And now the song exists, or someone that wasn't even the original person made the song,
or someone contacted you to finish the song, or be on the song, or pay you to be on the song. You know what I mean? Like, there's a guy, man. I don't even talk too much about this, bro, because I've put a lot of work into this. So we're gonna
glaze over this. Too much game.
I can keep going, but I've got ideas. You just got to figure it all out. What was I thinking about lately? Oh, wow. I was thinking about, first of all, I seen that China booked the first Alabama fucking executive on a sexual assault. So that was pretty impressive. You know how that goes down? I did some research on that. Do you know how these parties go down over there?
Over in China?
Yeah,
so
bro.
Like Chinese billionaire parties?
Pretty much. But really, like, the only one that's really been exposed is Alabama.
I've seen the hentai, okay? I know what comes out of these Asian dudes' minds.
There's a sick culture going on where basically they just bring in the hottest interns they can. They're forced to drink on these like business meetings, and then they sexually assault them. And apparently this culture has been going on for fucking years and years and years, bro. And like China just convicted the first person for it, basically. And the woman's still being shamed, but like apparently they are making them drink. I don't know if it's true, But that's apparently
I mean-
making them drink. I mean, I don't put it past Chinese billionaires and billionaires of any sort.
That's the thing. We've seen what stereotypically comes of the Asian work ethic over there, or or being the forced labor of it, or the expectation of it. They work. I think they work like I forgot what they called it. It was the 999 or something, where it was some crazy ass work schedule, like 9 to 9, with only not even 9 hours of sleep or whatever the case may be. I forgot what it was, but pretty much they work they work straight up like 16-hour days, and that's what's expected in a normal work for them. And it's 100% believable that they could just have this rape culture going on inside these big companies. I'm sure it happens all over the fucking place, even here still.
Oh,
but we have the straight up have the laws to say, hey, you can't fucking do that. Whereas I'm not sure if they do.
Yeah, but that doesn't even matter because Weinstein and all of these guys have shown they're doing the same exact things. And fuck a billionaire, fuck a billionaire.
And I think what China will 100% do is just the politicians on their end will do whatever they want, but they're going to control people from the top down to be what they want the people to be, and what they want these companies to be. They're becoming robots over there. They're becoming like AI. They're becoming the society where you have to have people doing forced behaviors to keep up this fake image of being a successful society or something.
Yeah, 100%.
Like you literally, well, now you can't ride the fucking metro system. Straight up.
Like us talking about this, it makes me think about, we're talking about like these billionaires and well, they do that, right? I was watching Bill Burr. It was so fucking funny. He was talking about when Oprah interviewed Lance Armstrong, and he's like, Oprah was talking to him. He's like, Lance, how could you do this? How could you cheat this many times? And for all these people who lied to him. And Bill Burr was like, motherfucker, you made $1 billion in the media industry. You know how a motherfucker will cheat and lie and steal to knock the next man down. If anyone fucking knows it's you. And I was like,
cutthroat.
That's so true, bro. Remember when I don't know if you remember, but Courtney Love, bro, was on the runway talking about Harvey Weinstein, dude, 20 years before that shit even happened.
Yeah. Do you have any advice for any up and coming young stars in the industry? If Harvey Weinstein invites you back to his pad, don't go.
Don't go.
Yeah, don't go.
That's what she had to say.
That's what she said.
This shit's out the bag. They're all doing it.
They all knew it.
They're willing to do it, bro. Listen, what we consider nasty or dirty, whatever it is, not everybody does, bro. Some people will fuck their way to the top. Some people will suck their way to the top. They'll kill their way to the top. They'll do anyone dirty, anyone cruddy. I have seen the pits of a human. The pits of a human's morals. Okay? Thrown out of the window. All right? They mean nothing. They mean nothing, bro. No one's morals mean nothing. You know what matters? The emotions, the present time, and the feeling of that day. And that's really the only thing that will ever matter. Because you can say you're not this person and be them tomorrow.
And we all chase the hypothetical dragon. Where you get that feeling for the first time. You're hooked. You chase that all the time. That will envelop your whole fucking life. It could take over and it can root itself no matter how evil it is. People are easily corrupt. People are easily corrupt in these situations, and at the end of the day, it's the people within this whole type of system and power structure. Once they get that power, you don't start thriving for that, it's like you're not going for your next goal. You have all the money now. Well, I think people just straight up get bored. The mind goes to work. They start going crazy. They were always that sick individual, to be very clear. They were always that sick individual to begin with. It just took them to get money. It greased the wheel. It made it easier to be this evil person. Because now you're not just some ugly, balding fuck Harvey Weinstein. Now you're a big time movie executive, and you take advantage of that to get your way with your money and your power.
That you're fat and bald. And because they're all there to get whatever you have.
And buying a prostitute isn't enough for you. You have to have that power exchange.
I'm glad we're talking about this. It made me think about something I've been thinking about recently. I don't know when in society. I got a lot to Give me a second here, okay?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know when in society we decided that like it was cool to be sad. But that's where we're at now, bro. Right? We're at a place where people really think that sadness and isolation and madness are all quality traits, bro. And they're not. And you should stop glamorizing these things because you're really doing a disservice to the youth when you do this. You're leading them down the wrong path to think. Jordan Peterson, give him credit when he's right? He has a great thing about this where he says, you're telling these people you're okay how you are. Who you are is fine. And this person's telling you, I'm depressed and I hate every day of my life. And you're telling them, well, you're you and we love you for you. It doesn't fucking work, okay? And this is how you guys know that you really don't suffer with the things you suffer with. I hate to even quote another person. 21 Savage says a great thing about this. He says a lot of people are dumb and you think you're crazy. You're dumb. And that's a confusion that people have. That's what they don't understand. You don't suffer with madness, bro, to these people. A Van Gogh, an Edgar Allan Poe, people that succumbed in their own madness, bro. You have no type of relevance to that, you know? And I've met people that suffer with these things, and they're like, yeah, I can't even get through the day because of my PTSD. But then there'll be the same people that's like, I don't know how someone could cut. Oh, but you understand that you couldn't do something because of your ability, but you can't fathom that someone else has it. You have no empathy. And now you've embraced the suck. You all embrace the suck every day. You want to be the sad boys. And it does not work. The idea of life is to figure out what makes you happy. Not to sit here and try to think that you being crazy and you being, oh, I'm isolated makes you cool. It doesn't make you cool, man. I'm sorry. I'm sorry to tell people this. It's something I've really been thinking about. Antisocial. No, that's not what you want, bro. If you
Introvert.
if you really have something going on with you and you truly suffer from these things, then God save you. I really do pray for you. I know it's a real thing. But a lot of people are succumbing to these things. They're chasing them because they want that to be their identity. That's a safe identity to play, right? Dark and mysterious. That's so safe to play. I can just sit in the background. I'll be funny when I want to talk. I'll talk. I'll attack and pick and choose, right? That is such a sad lifestyle. I've realized that the much better lifestyle is light and bright, right? It's the same thing I'm saying about the art, right? We're going to talk so much. I'm going to talk so much to you, bro, over the course of our friendship that I'm going to piss you off 50 times. I'm going to make sense 60 times. I'm going to get you mad 14 times. I'll make you sad 60 times. You're not going to like what I said 100 times because I'm putting so much out there for you to critique, right? But you think that I'm a loser and the person that says 10 words, the 10 words they thought about for 2 weeks for this one moment to be cool, to say the meme they seen online, that person is worth more to you. You see what I mean? Because, well, he shot one shot and he hit it. You shot 100, you hit 90, but those 10 you missed were bad. You see, that's where we're at now. It's cool to not say nothing, bro. And then we can go on social media, though, and we can have all these ideas and all these thoughts, but you have nothing to say to anyone in the world about anything. Like, it's just super frustrating, bro. You do not have to be sad. You do not have to be mad. You don't have to be alone. And if that is, look, I feel these ways too. I feel these ways too. Then these people, we should be meeting up. We should be meeting up and trying to figure out a way to not feel like this instead of embracing it. We cannot all go to therapy, man. I keep saying it. There is not enough 1-hour sessions to save everyone here. Okay? Now, but that's the thing, man. I'm not trying to say anything, but you guys want to talk about PTSD? PTSD over one scenario that happened in your life? Bro, we all have PTSD. That's the truth. We do. So at this point, it's no longer even an inability. It's a trait of ours. And we're going to have to learn how to adapt with things like depression and anxiety and being an introverted way. We're going to have to learn how to adapt to this. If not, we're going to be succumb to the internet. We're going to succumb to all digital world where everyone can just be fake, man. When you see someone face to face, you know who they
It's
are. You
yeah,
can't fake it.
You can't. You can.
I'm sorry.
No, you can fake it all you want on social media, and that's why people out here, you see them do it every day, where they scroll the Instagram feeds. People on social media, that you're putting your best foot forward every day. If you're really out here on social media like that, you're living this fake life and this fake persona that you want to put out there for everyone to see. And when you're in person, when you're straight in person, it's like,
Bro.
we've all been there. You just ain't there, dog. Like,
and one of my favorite quotes, bro. That's a collection of just these favorite quotes. But Kevin Gates, he says, social media, you're comparing your real life to someone's highlights. Because that's what you do on social media. People post their highlights
all day.
You know what I mean? They're not posting anything about nothing sad. They're not going to post if they cheated on someone. They're not going to post if they just lost a fight. But they're posting if they just won a fight. Nobody wants to show their negatives, bro. Everybody's so scared to show their negatives. And then when someone does show their negatives, you want to judge them and pick them apart and be like, "Oh, look at this person."
And that's where we get sick. We all, some people even get a satisfaction, but just put other people down, and are just kind of just evil people. And then these people who don't believe in themselves, don't see in themselves, just succumb to those types of things as well. All this type of societal pressure that is all made up, that we all put on our own selves. Right now, we are worried about being who's a good-looking human. People are being liked and followed just for being, aesthetically pleasing to the eye out here. And the arts don't receive the same love. No. They don't receive the same love as the aesthetics of human. We get it. The human body is beautiful, but the human mind is even crazier. It's deeper. It's as infinite as this universe can go. Bro. And that's the thing. You put words, you put emotions, you put inside feelings. There's words in Dutch languages that define things that we don't have words for. We can only say that definition out loud. There's no word for that. People take those feelings inside, those words, those things inside that don't necessarily have an expression, a way to say it, a way to see it, but they put it into an art, and you see it, you can hear it.
Yeah, I like you brought that up.
Yeah.
I was thinking about that the other day. I was like, somebody said, how you doing? You're in pain or like something like that. You're hurt. And I'm like, hurt ain't the word. Hurt ain't the word. Like this is a different emotion. There's no word for it. I was wondering, like, what do you do when you experience emotion that they don't have an emotion for? Right? Because it's possible. Like, what about when you concoct 4 emotions that you're feeling at once? That's a new emotion. Mm-hmm. Right? Like that's, and man, these things, I'm telling you, bro, these fucking emotions, man, they really are our superpowers, bro. They're human superpowers. They really are. They're what's getting you through everything. They're the whole point of us being here is to feel these emotions, And like I'm almost happy every time I feel an emotion I never felt, no matter what it is. If I never felt it before or to that level of it, I'm like, man, well, that was an experience, And you're still gonna feel bad or happy, whatever it is. But like, you're like, man, you could look at it from this great point of being like, I'm so lucky to be on this rock under these stars, able to experience like these emotions in a heartbeat. Like, what the fuck is going on, dude?
And it's so insane what the perception or how you say things just comes in line. Like just how you say things. There was a video I watched the other day where they were talking about words and what they actually mean to people, and then and how they were talking about spells and words as if they were actually incantations. Like you are like almost like manifesting it, but you are saying it into a physical realm, and that in a way is like conjuring or casting a spell. Your words can have way more effect than what you actually think when you're bringing them into the physical world. So when you look at things, I know you've seen something, heard something, someone said something, you watched something, or read something, and it kind of flipped the switch on in your head. And you're just like, and it was like you felt a neuron click. Like there's no word for that. Like a neuron clicked on in your head, and you were just like, oh shit, and it made sense to you.
Or like tying that into the fact of like, we were told from the time you're fucking born here, you're told like, hey, yeah, this is all made up of atoms, and we're like, oh yeah. Now here I am, 28. I'm like, hey, it's all made up of atoms. You know that, right? Yeah, it's all
molecules, what? Mitochondria.
What? You know what I mean? Like,
powerhouse of the cell.
It's like we don't even really understand how lucky this present moment is, man. And I'll tell you what, bro. I've learned a lot quick, right? And I'll tell you, man. I'm telling you all with this sadness shit. No one wants to be alone, bro.
No.
No one, dog. Like, my best convos are with myself, honestly. Like, I honestly feel like I make the most progress in my own mind when I conversate with myself. Like, more than I probably make with other people. And I don't know what reason that is. But if I'm going to sit around all day and conversate with myself, I'll drive myself mad. You need human interaction.
You need it.
to
You
talk
need the
to people,
social.
care about
You need
people,
the sun.
love
You
them.
need the connection. Like
I'm out here now, bro, right? So I'm talking to people. Bro, they talk about their self a lot, dude. That's really all they got to talk about, Steve, is their self, dude. People really aren't even genuine. Like I'm telling you, guys, girls, I'm talking about everybody. They're not even really like genuine enough to be like, so what do you do every day? Or like, bro, like a question I love asking people is like, what's your hobbies? That's just a question that just doesn't even get asked of me. You know, little things like that of like, people always want to be like, talk about the experience they had.
mm-hmm.
And I'm way more interested being like, how was your experience? Yeah, I'm way more interested in like how other people are living life because I know how I'm living life. But other people seem to be so infatuated with like the way they do things and the way they see things. Like if somebody came up to me with a complete opposite view on something, right? I want to know why they think that. I'm not going to say, no, this is the way I think something, and that's that.
Yeah, so I mean, people feel differently. I think some people are definitely a little more narcissistic than others. They're a little more interested in themselves. And it's one of the easiest things to talk about. Like you know yourself, you believe to know yourself, and you could easily be like, okay, here, this is how I explain that, this is how I explain that, this is how I explain that, this is why I do this, that, or the third. But when you're talking about abstract ideas or different ideologies or things of that nature, it becomes a lot more difficult. It becomes a lot more harder. It becomes harder to combat within yourself against someone else within your own ideological box, or whatever the case may be, wherever you stand on certain things.
How open are you willing to be at that
how
moment,
open
right?
you're willing to be.
You both have to be open and honest. And I've just fell in love with that, man.
It's a energy exchange. You are talking to someone, and this is what it's about. We need to be open, not so guarded off and closed.
Yeah, but there's so many elements to that because you talk so differently, right? Because like to a guy, you're gonna talk way different. And then you would talk way different to a young guy than you would to an old guy, a black man to a white man. This is all true. These are just true things, right? And then you have like a man talking to a woman, where like you're constantly on this line of like, I think for like, especially for like, I'm a nice guy, and I think that women always take that as like, you want to flirt with them. It's like every woman, they talk about us a lot, but like women have a lot of entitlement. Like any attractive woman, like to society standards of attractiveness that you come across, she thinks you like her. Right? Well, we don't feel like that. There's fucking plenty of good looking guys that are like, oh, that girl, she ain't feeling me. But girls feel like if they're attractive, every guy likes them. So it's like if I come up to you, even if you're a cool person, there's like always that underlying, thing there of like, well, this is gonna lead to sex. And it's like, I mean, if you are attractive, that's gonna make it difficult, right? Because like we are humans. But first and foremost, like you're like talking to women way more than men, bro. But it's hard because you create that barrier right there of like, well, what are you saying all this for? Or is there a bit of fakeness here? You put a charm on, and
all that's underlying.
And if I looked you in your eyes and said no, it'd be a lie, right? Because that's what it is between man and woman, so it's difficult.
Yes, and those two, like you would be attracted to a woman who you could also be friends with. You do all the things you guys enjoy together, and you have fun together. I guess to me, it just seems real easy to tie sex up into that. And you're just like, this is my partner. We do all those things. We're so cool. We're close, and you can develop those like familiar, sister type relationships. But
can you?
I think you can.
Is this true or not, Steve? I'm not even gonna bring your family into it. Okay, leave your family out. Every woman you ever seen, you thought about fucking. I try to
Yeah.
explain that to every girl.
Yeah.
I try to explain, like, listen, you can avoid the thoughts when it's your family, or obviously you're not gonna fucking think about teenagers and children and shit.
Of
You're
course,
gonna be like,
course.
keep all of
Of
that
course.
nasty shit out the way. But as far as like women your age or adults, there's not one we've ever seen that you didn't think about what you would do. Even if it was for a second, you'd be like, throw that ass every time. I'll throw that motherfucking, I'll still throw that motherfucking leg up.
I think it goes both ways, though. I think that's one of those types of thoughts that kind of just intrude your mind, somewhat of how.
You think so?
Like
you think every girl you ever seen?
So you're driving.
You?
So you're driving. You're like, hey, what if I just ram this bitch off the bridge, and then but you don't. I think it's one of those intrusive thoughts. Like you're either immediately like, the first question you see, you look at someone, you're like, what the fuck would I not fuck? Okay, now that's out the way. What else is there? Like that always pops in your head first. You're just like, okay,
why?
Well, I don't know. It's like is it a biological response?
Right.
I mean, how primal are we?
Women. And see.
How primal are we still?
Like, you gotta find honest women that aren't afraid. Good. Aren't afraid to say what's going on. So
that's.
I mean, are they? That's what I was saying. I mean, I don't want to get back into it, but like, that's what I was saying about like when they say men commit X crime. Let's say X crime 10 times more than women. Well, are the physical capabilities there to commit the crime? You see what I mean? Like a lot of times, like we talk about something like kidnap. Can a woman kidnap a man? It'd be difficult. You're gonna need a weapon.
You need a gun. You need a gun or something. Straight up.
Like you couldn't physically do it, right? Like, isn't that so? Like, doesn't that seem like it'd be unfair to use that right there, right? I mean, it's the same thing with rape, and honestly, it's the same thing where it's like, okay, I've talked to you about this before. It's something I think about often. I think there's plenty of women rapists. I think there's plenty of women out here who want to rape men. They just can't. They literally can't. So
you have to drug them or something.
And I might be wrong. I might be wrong.
Exactly.
Please.
You're thinking this out loud.
Please, exactly.
You're putting that thought out there.
Putting the thought out there.
I think it's a very interesting way to look at it.
But like, are we saying that like only men? Because we're saying women feel the same way, right? Women feel the same way we do. So I think there's plenty of women that are evil people and would probably rape. I mean, there's plenty of women that molest children. I know that. You know what I mean?
Yes, there is.
I know that, there is. So that's not shocking. There's plenty of teachers that fuck students.
And there's plenty of women who abuse children and
all of that. Everything. Cougars that attack 18 to 21-year-olds. Same exact thing. You know, and we let all that slide. So I think there's a lot of sicko women out here that be thinking some crazy shit and they just can't act on it because it's not the same. Like you see Shaq. She's like, oh man, I would fucking just tie him up and take him.
It's very interesting. Yeah, yes. I could definitely see it that way. And that could possibly explain it. It might not be. We can't be so sure that it's related to a specific sex. Like we can't be so sure that men are just more violent overall. Because that's a very valid point that they can't enact one of those violent impulses, and they can't, without some type of repercussion on them to immediately be either damaged or hurt or something. So they have to kind of self-preserve. It's a very interesting thing to think about. I don't think it's ever like. I mean, there might be. We would have to look to see if there's something like that, like kind of like analyze that, kind of breaks that down. That would be very interesting. Because I feel you. Like that seems very logical. That I don't think it would be a sex thing that would really. I think those intrusive thoughts come into everybody's minds. Yeah. Everyone's minds, and it's just about who's more susceptible. And I don't think there's because even though women are caregivers, they can still hurt their child. They can still kill their child. Like no matter what type of bond you have with a fetus being born inside you, then you giving birth and raising it. Even with men, you can kill it. It's just that they feel more confident that they can take over and have the power in the situation.
Isn't it weird that like well, first, I mean, they do have the power. They have all the power, bro. At the end of the day, like
physical,
the decision is up to
the violent crimes.
The decision is up to the woman of what happens with a child. That's really a hard pill to swallow, bro. And because I know both sides of the story. I know somebody that wanted an abortion and the woman didn't. And somebody that did want an abortion, the woman didn't. It can happen either way. You know,
Yes,
but
it
at the end of
can.
the day, they get to make that choice, man. It has
They do.
nothing,
They do.
literally nothing to do with us. At any moment, I mean, they can decide to go to the clinic or they can decide to keep that baby.
If you want it or not.
So that's the choice God gave them over us. You know, I think there's not really much. It is weird that white men decide to vote on that. That's a bunch of white men that are like, yeah, you guys shouldn't be able to do that. Like,
and you ban the
but I
practice
talked to you
outright.
about this before. Like, we kind of went down this road before where, like, that's another thing I think about often. Like, it's really like a gray area of like, we can't figure out at this point in like human evolution of like, do you own your child? Right? Like, do you own a soul once it's created? Basically,
being.
right? Because like you're responsible to take care of that child for 18 years.
As soon as it's brought into this world, yep.
Right? You're responsible, but you don't have the right to always kill it. And it's like, well, if anyone had the right, it would be the one that conceived the child, right? I think we can leave it at there. That's as far as we are right now with that.
Yes.
But we won't let someone birth a child and then beat it to death 2 years later.
No, you won't.
You see what I mean? So we're stopped that. So
I think that's why we kind of defined that point of conception in that period of where you
like
can't do that.
months.
Okay, from this point on, you can't do nothing to that baby.
Well, like, I remember like with my sister, bro. I don't even know how much I can say about that, but basically, she wanted to get a fucking twin abortion, bro. A twin abortion at a late stage, and Marilyn wouldn't do it, bro. And like the doctors there were telling her to go to DC, which is crazy that like the government spot always has like the like most liberal views. Like it's like you can do mushrooms there now and shit. You know what I mean? It's weird that they're like that, but they were gonna abort at 8-month-old twins, bro. It's crazy, dude. Now that's crazy to me, and it sucks because that's the gray area right there, right? Because 3 months, 5 months, I can't tell you, but like I'm like 8 months.
How it's you're sitting here and we're saying how can we sit here and define that measurement of like, okay, 6 months on out, you can't do nothing to that baby, no matter 6 months.
Yeah.
Once you're past that 6 month period and on, you can't do anything to that child.
We're right at that Social Security card at 6 months.
And some people want to push that barrier all the way up until the point of conception that you can have, like before it's conceived, that type of line.
The day before.
But
the day before?
Oh my God. It's so
with triplets. You know what I mean? Like, that's what I'm saying. It's the gray area. I know one thing. I know that we're not allowed to say what you can do.
Yes.
That's the thing. Like, at the end of the day.
We're just talking about it at the end of the day, but we can't define
I think that comes down to a room full of women.
Yes.
But women can't even agree on it.
Women can't. Some women are against abortion. Straight up.
Not so.
You know?
It seems to really be like half for my poll.
Yeah, I would have no idea where to gauge women on that one. Because most women seem to be wanting to control their body, but you do see them out there counter protesting at the pro-life rally.
Bro, like the two like of the main 3 people I fucking even learned about pushing that no abortion shit was women, bro. So it's super weird. I mean, they're fighting for it, bro. I know it's being fought for on both sides, but to me, it's like, damn, it is so. Like, imagine, like, would men fight for that?
Some men fight for that.
I mean,
pro-life or pro.
No, but like, do you think men would fight to make other men not be able to get abortions? I mean, of course we would. Of course we would. Yeah. But it seems more like, you would want to be like, I get to choose what I want to do.
Yes.
And you get to choose what you want to do. But then here we are where we're like, well, don't birth the child and kill it, though. That's not okay.
Well, that's never okay.
That's
never okay. It's never okay 100%.
Why? What is that right there?
That, like I said, we define the point of conception where a person is alive. And now this person is alive, it's been born. We've defined that. So once the baby is born into this world, it becomes its own entity. We slap a number on that bad boy, and it is governed by the laws of the land.
So what do you say? I mean, when is something alive?
at the point of conception. But that's the thing. Like people define it as heartbeat, brain activity, and we've also put a period. It seems most people agree you can't do late term abortions. Like no,
What do
like
you think,
even
bro?
people.
Let's not be afraid to talk about
that's
it.
the thing. I don't think like late term abortion is like that's crazy.
Let's not worry about it.
It's a
ain't it funny how you start
a baby can be
smiling 'cause
born.
it's such like a voodoo thing.
So
What do you
when
think?
something
I mean,
that's what I'm about to say.
it's okay for us to be wrong.
Listen. So when a baby, let's say this baby can be born prematurely and survive. I think that would be a good unit of measurement before you do that.
Okay.
You know?
Okay.
So like
okay,
if a baby can't be born at 4 months,
let's just talk about it. Okay. Why do you think that?
Why do I think that? Because it's the point of something that where it could continue to live on its own. And I mean, like, if it's just gestating it. That's what I'm saying. When a baby can be born
and it would die if
early. You know,
a baby will die every time that no one does nothing.
Babies can be born prematurely.
No, I'm saying a mother has to feed that baby as soon as it comes out. A lot of times we have to clear its airways.
We would have to probably artificially try to keep it alive.
That's what I'm saying. So. They're dead if someone doesn't care for it. You know. Yeah. So.
That's what I'm saying. Where it could be, it could live. I mean, once you go past, I'm not sure what that time period would be, but once you can't put past that, I think that would be. Well, without intervention.
Yeah, you know what I mean. So it's like I don't know. To me, like I said, bro, we're just talking about it.
Yeah, I mean, like a baby can be born 8 months and I think continue on.
Right. Say if it was at 8 months. Right. I'm saying like it's kind of almost an irrelevant thing to me though, is because at 8 months a mother can still not be fit to raise a child. Okay, so like 4 to 8, that's how I'm looking at it.
But at that determination, if she determines that she wants to then abort there, it seems you would just want you allow it in the earlier stages, and make that accessible so you don't get to those late term stages. I guess there'll be those cases, but at that point, it seems it's crazy because then you're saying it has to be a forced birth per se. It's like, well, now you have to birth. Now you have to give birth.
Right. Which is, you cannot say.
Very true.
It's very true. I mean? You cannot say that, very true. Bro. So now we're literally at the point where.
Of conception.
Well, not conception, but delivery. That's how I'm looking at it from the other side, basically, of well, now can someone go 9 months? Here's what I'm saying, where you're putting this on the person because once it's birthed, you're saying you can't do any of this. So you're making it very difficult
100%.
with this gray area that no one can establish. That's why 100%. That's why we start smiling, and you're kind of we're both don't really even know what the thought is because it's such a voodoo topic of what's going on right there. And they just argue both of those heavy sides because they can't figure out where the middle ground's at. They don't even know what is the middle ground of I don't think they're ever going to agree on okay, well, 5 months. They're never going to agree on that, bro. It's either can someone get an abortion or can they not? You see what I mean? That's where I'm at with it. I don't think the term thing is right.
And I can understand. I think we would. There's gonna be. We're gonna have to come to some type of consensus. I think that would probably be a good memory ground. I think that'd be probably a good middle ground.
So we know one thing.
I think most women
they got a forced birth.
And I may be wrong here, but I think women would also agree that late term abortions are probably not right, and they're gonna have that small percentage. There's gonna be someone left out here, So
listen,
I think
if someone was to come and talk about it. Let's talk about it.
Yeah, exactly. I think someone early on.
We're learning in our comment right now, right? Is that we're not gonna tell anybody to give birth. We're not gonna force anyone to give birth, bro. So therefore, we know that me and you can't come up with a solution right now where we tell anyone that they cannot get an abortion from conception to delivery. That's where we're at then if we're saying that. Because we're not going to force anyone to give a birth they don't want to do. And then even when you said the word allow, it's well, we know how when abortion was illegal, they were still going to get abortions one way or another. Rather it be backdoor or underground. So you open that. To have, you know what I mean? You're not allowing anything. They're going to still go do it.
You need to have those safe havens for those people.
You would think, right? So, okay, so we're making progress here. So we know now that we don't think you should ever force a woman to give birth. So we know we can't say that. So at this point, that was solved easy then, in my opinion. That was solved pretty easy then. We can't say anything.
Well,
as men, American white mans, we cannot say that they could ever be forced to give birth. So at this point, we have to provide them with the option to give an abortion the entire
term, and you can't impose any legislation on that type of thing. It's just it's free and clear up until birth.
And there's probably going to be a couple other things like that we just are like, we've got to let people do what they want to do.
Yes.
And we provided you the option to try to help you with whatever one you wanted.
Yes.
That's probably going to be the best way to go about that.
And it's like it's like legalizing all drugs. It's like war on drugs or whatever. You know, like you just it's free range, whatever. Get out of here. Even fucking.
So are we hardcore left or are we hippies? Right? Because here we are. We're like, yeah, I agree. It's like I think that all the drugs should be legal. Right? We're gonna do criminal reform. Right?
We're in the war on drugs.
We're gonna use psychedelics as medicines.
Don't put me in that box. Don't put me in that box.
Let's talk about it.
Yeah. So that I think that type of like leftist right thinking is we just need to come to a consensus on what actually works and what's not working.
Okay.
But there are things that I think me and you would both be on the right side of particular issues. I mean, like we think about with children and transitioning to different genders, to the other gender, or redefine their gender, or how early we teach them about gender recognition and gender identity. I think you should probably leave kids alone. I think I'd fall on the right of that type of situation, on the right side. I think that's what the right ideology. So I don't think we just need to think about what's working and what's not working and apply that. I think psychedelics, we haven't really tapped into that type of power yet, and we could really use that to our advantage. I think that's something that should be explored, but if it's not working, then it's not working, I think we just need to apply practical solutions, things that work, and really put the real right mind behind it of trialing these things and being objectively unbiased about it. We all carry our biases, I know, but we need practical solutions. We need practical ideas that actually work, and how we feel about them may not allow us to move in the best direction.
Right. So there's a lot to unpack right there. So number one, though, is like you're saying that we need these trials, right? We need these trials to see how these things go. But then you're saying like we should not teach our children this. Well, like, don't we get a trial to see if that works?
Exactly. Yes. Yeah. So that's what I'm saying. So I'm saying with the left versus right, I would fall on different sides of depending on what topic you probably
Well, for me, I don't think
I'm full liberal.
I don't feel the same way about that as you do. Yeah, I wouldn't say I feel that way. I would say for me on that, I think that the moment that you sign your kid up for a public school that's funded by the taxpayers, you cannot tell them one thing to teach them. I think you're going to leave them alone for 8 hours, and no matter what curriculum you try to establish, whoever's teaching it, there's going to be a bias there between like their personal life and like their salary and other things that add up, and you give away all of those rights the moment you go there. So like if they only want to do 6 classes of how to teach your kid to be gay, then you have to figure out something with your child and not send them there.
And that's what
that's not, you know what I mean? Like it's a weird thing for me.
That's what I'm saying. So we find that all works, and that's what's healthy. I'm willing to go take part in that lesson. That's good for you. That's going to teach you a broader worldview. It's going to teach you about things. It's going to teach you things about yourself, things that you might not recognize before.
That's the issue, though, right? That's the whole issue with that is the fact that parents cannot teach their kids this. This is why we did sex ed, because parents aren't even having these combos with their kids. So what about when it's true, bro? I know you believe that, like, you believe in gender dysmorphia, right? You believe that, like, there is people who want to be transgender, like you said, sex is fluid. Yes. You get that.
Yes.
So, like, what do you do when a 5-year-old does feel like that, bro? To say 8 billion people, there's not going to be one 5-year-old that goes, you know what, I want to be a girl. Like, and now, like, it's another gray area, right?
It is.
Well, can a
And-
13-year-old can say it, but a
and-
5-year-old can't.
And this is where I think we all need to be, objective and objectively open, and be one of the, make these surrenders of what actually is practical and works. And I think that's not what we do. We identify with some of these ways and ideologies to a point that we allow it to inhibit our ability to make a rational decision and to make a real thought out process and on what actually will be applicable and work in these scenarios. And I mean, you can't paint everyone with the same brush, but I think we definitely do a lot of lacking in thinking in that type of like way. Again, we're trying to we need to try and figure out solutions, but we all come to this crossroad battle because we can't agree on which way to go. And then the issue doesn't get solved, it becomes so political, or everyone gets so tied up into the emotional side of it that we're ready to fight and beat down each other's throats because these differing views, and we can't agree on nothing. But no one could deny evidence. No one could deny something that's actually working. I mean, people could sure damn try, but if it's working, how could we we just attach ourselves too much to it, to our identity. Right. We feel attacked.
Let me ask you this, right? We go up to 10 parents right now that have children, and we say, hey, we can make it to where both of you can stay home. You don't have to go to work, and you have to teach your child. You just have to homeschool your child. How many parents would you trust to be able to do that, bro?
100%.
Right? They don't even think they have the capability to do that, right? Yes. And then on top of it, you add in it's a daycare.
Yes.
Right? It's a daycare mainly. People are going to send their kids there no matter what they teach them, bro, because they don't even have the ability to say otherwise.
You would have to, I think, revamp public education and really put some thought and effort and money to where, all these public schools and in individual districts, and why is there such huge disparities between different districts within different states and whatnot. We would need to address those. We need to fund these things. And I mean, we're so big. Other smaller countries have figured out some of these things. I think, we can take a lot, because there's a lot of what other public school systems do good, but also we can definitely combine some of these things to make real good public education. We can put the money there. We can pay teachers more money. We can make it a thing that actually teaches people the correct way. We teach them to be open thinkers. We teach them to be open and to think, about things, rationally, creatively, and logically. And I mean, I think we can do that. I think we can do that and enforce these positive traits of thought and critical thinking. I think we can actually apply that to what we're doing today, and it's just not happening. I mean, we grew up inside Baltimore City Public Schools. I mean, we've seen what that's like, and that's not where minds go to get nurtured early on. That's not where young minds are going to find the stimulation they need. They're going to find the wrong type of stimulation, or overstimulation, or whatever the case may be.
So here's the thing with that, though, right? We're kind of back at our age-old tale of can it be tweaked? A lot of times you're seeing it as it can be tweaked and be corrected, and I'm seeing it as it just needs to be abolished, bro. It really does. I would say so many things about that. Number one, I would say how big could a classroom be? How big could a classroom be, bro? Because to me, it's supposed to be 10.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And instead it's 30.
And we're talking about paying them more. How many six-figure teachers can there be?
Can I say another thing, bro? There's another thing that no one brings up. You always say, why do kids hate school? Well, who the fuck wants to get up, right? 6 o'clock, fucking go hang out 8 hours, right?
Yes.
What fucking teacher wants to do it, bro? It's a miserable way to teach.
Yeah.
How could somebody could love teaching and hate teaching at a school?
And that's where you made it. That's where you made it into a daycare where you started it with during work hours.
And this is what I'm saying. We're I think that you're just not even supposed to depend on the government to do that, bro. When you say we're gonna do it this way. Yeah, in our world we would, but in their world, the way they got it set up, bro, they're always going to twist that for their benefit. So when you say we need to teach them this, they're always going to teach them what they want them to learn.
And I think we both stand that type of idea of rebuilding public education in that type of form could never happen in this world. In this type of
That's what
system,
I'm saying.
could
They gotta be
never fucking
abolished.
happen. I'm
Now-
talking utopian ideas and
For
and
us,
perfect
that's
ideas.
our utopian
100%,
idea, you know,
exactly.
because we also think
But-
that we can figure it out. But
But
so, like, here's the thing, though. Like, I think we even might have talked about it before, but say there was somebody, you know, like my sister. We look at my sister. We're like, oh, you know, you raise a great kid. You're such a good mother, right? The rest of, I think it should be the block, personally. I think it should be individual block schools. And just my personal, if you want to do neighborhoods to make it less, but I think it should be every block should just have basically a rec center there where the most trusted individual in that block, who would be your sister or your grandma, that'd be perfect, bro. Like, your grandma, dude. We'd be like, look, we're going to take care of every single other thing for you. We're going to work your garden. We're going to bring you food. We're going to cook the food. We're going to get your groceries. We're going to run your water. We're going to, you know, blah, blah, blah. And all we want you to do is just raise these children because you're good at that. And you would find someone that wanted to do that. You know what I
Yes.
mean? And you would have to find these people everywhere. And there's plenty of people that are like this. Those same teachers. You know, we've
Yes.
had plenty of good teachers, bro.
Yeah, we
You would
did.
go to that woman, you would say, look, we're going to provide everything else. You teach the children. This is what you want to do too. It works out great.
Yes.
It works
Yes,
out
bro.
so great.
Yes, bro.
you
100%.
know? And if you got to do 2 or 3 that want to block, then you do that. And you dedicate 2 or 3 houses to that. You know, and you build a playground for these children. And you know that my kids are going to the same spot that your kids go to. If something happens, we can go there. We know the lady. It's on this. We're not a mile away from it, working for what we need to support this
Yes.
to happen. Like, once again, bro, it's not that crazy. Like,
Nothing.
it what they have, I've said it before, I want to rant. What they have done with the school system is way harder than what I just said.
100%.
harder to operate that,
100%, bro.
But we have to get out here and talk to our neighbors. We have to meet people. We have to be comfortable
to
being
be-
honest
And
with
we have
people.
to be in our community. Exactly. And that's where, like, you know, the openness comes in, being open to other people's ideas and solutions when on the face you made a agree in the beginning with it, you know? It takes some time to walk back. Excuse me. And digest that a little better, you know, and think about it and really put some time instead of keeping this guard up. The guard's up on people, man. The guard is
Bro,
up on
I
people.
mean, look,
we
we
need to tear down these walls with each other and have open discussions. You talk back and forth.
And all we could, like, you know, we're sitting here, like we said, we started with the abortion convo, right? Saying white men shouldn't be voting on this.
Yes.
Right? That's where we started at.
Yes.
You know, so it's like at this thing, I'm like, are we going to be scared to talk about these things? You suffer. You suffer so bad.
Yeah, I mean,
Are we going to be scared to talk about that? That's the problem, though, right? It's like, I'm that person that always does that in the convo. I always clear that up in combos. I'm always like, this is what I think. Or I don't know shit, but here it is. Right? People completely
that's like a liability waiver right there.
people completely disregard that you said that. And they simply only hear what you think. So we can literally be like, look, we should not be voting on what happens with women. Women should be voting on them. We don't know anything, and our opinion is invalid. But here it is, right? They're gonna cut out everything you say in the beginning, and they're gonna
Except this
post
part.
your fucking
And they're
opinion.
clipping together all the bad
And they're
shit.
gonna be like,
They're gonna stitch all together the bad
look
shit.
at him.
Yeah.
So it's fucked up, you know? And people are terrified to talk about these things, bro. And that's
The
back to art. Why are
uncomfortable.
people so scared to put the art out there? Because
'Cause
fucking people are so rude.
we can be so fucking harsh sometimes,
So
man. We can be
harsh.
so harsh sometimes.
Bro, it's crazy. Like, you know, you meet someone you never thought you'd be cool with or, you know, be able to have a relationship with, and then you could get with them. And then you can have a person that you're like, man, I could probably easily get with this person, and you can't. You know? So, like, there's so much to be partaken in there of, like, how I've been meeting a lot of people recently. Bro. I really have. I mean, you know, in my head, like, I'm doing my polls, you know? Like, people don't know how to take compliments, bro. They really don't. Like, I'll tell you an example. Like, I was fur, don't get me wrong. But once again, I wasn't even trying to flirt with this girl or nothing. I was coming walking out the bar. I'm going to the other bar. I just see this sunflower in this girl's hair. And it's as I'm walking by, not even thinking, just trying to be open and free. I just said, nice flower. I love it. And I kept walking. Didn't even stop. Didn't even look at her again, bro. Just was simple compliment and go. Right? And she starts laughing to her friend. She's like, nice flower. I'm like, wow, that was like, and it makes me think about, I was in Pittsburgh, right? I was in Pittsburgh. I came out this bar. I got this fat ass blunt. And this guy comes up to me and I didn't even think about it, bro. I just hit it in the butt. Hit this. He hits my butt and he's like, you gonna hit me this soggy ass blunt? I was like, man, bro, people are weird, dude. I had to just take my shit back, I seen a meme that was like, I love when people are rude. It's like, okay, my turn. It was so funny. But like that, I was like, damn, bro, like people don't even know how to take it. And maybe I don't neither, and I can't see it. Yeah, maybe I'm not saying I'm any.
I think
they're cut all this out, but I'm not saying I'm any different than anyone else.
Yeah. Oh, 100%. And
I was just like, man, why would you be rude to me? Like, why do people want to be rude to people? Like you it's like people literally only know how to make friends by talking about somebody they don't like. Like that's how friendships are formed,
Man.
We've always got to fight and then get through it. Like, we can never just be friends and just be nice. And I feel so nice. Like I want to be so nice to people. I'm like, it's like happy to help. That's how I feel. Happy to help, bro. And people just seem so. What happened here? Did we go down? Oh shit! I'm sorry.
It ended. The live videos ended.
Damn.
YouTube's still going. It just did it.
Damn.
It just did it. Why did it just end it? That's wild on Facebook. It just ended it.
Huh.
Yeah.
It is weird.
It just straight up ended that bitch. Marco's on this bitch. You remember a G?
Well, sorry, YouTube fan base.
We're still here for you, boys. Yeah, that was wild. It just ended that bitch, bro. It just ended that bitch, man. I mean, I just keep going on YouTube, bro. I mean, this is like we're still pretty young in the podcast. We're still pretty young in the podcast.
We haven't built our YouTube fan base very well.
No,
that's the problem.
No. I mean, you have all your friends added on Facebook that you just immediately share it to. Yeah. And you may have 300 people, 400 people, and just boom. Whereas YouTube, you hope someone may stumble across this or goes to your YouTube page and subscribe from Facebook.
Which is very hard.
I mean, like, you could definitely study the analytics, like, Jake Tran did, and, figure out where kind of like you fit in with like that comment. Exactly. I just want to see her beat me. I just want to see her talk about these types of things.
Audio issues, bro. Like that's always been the hardest issue. Like this is so easy.
Yeah. The
this
production.
Is 2 hours. Like
it's like
nothing.
It's like the production value.
But those 2 hours that we did before we started this, it felt like 4 hours.
Oh yeah, like ain't no fucking hour. Ain't no hour 17, bro. Ain't 100%.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean.
We've got to figure out how to just get a clean setup, effortless,
and looking good, sounding good.
How does that even happen? Like we don't even know what happened right there. It obviously wasn't Wi-Fi.
It just literally looks like that. The video ended on Facebook, and that was just
people that. Report us.
I ain't hit nothing here. I ain't clicked
people
nothing.
Reported us, bro.
You can't hit the keyboard.
We were talking some shit on there. I think we got kicked, bro.
I wonder.
That would be crazy.
You think it would say something like that? Like,
or like, what if people were reporting?
You shut down. Like.
Can't people report like the live video?
That's a 1-star, bro. Come on. You literally ended unexpectedly. This is happening. Look, it's happening.
Right now I'm just thinking about like 20 angry women.
just like fuck this shit.
Just like, oh no, this is fucking wrong. Shut the fuck up.
I mean, I'm sorry, but we want to be able to talk to you. We want to be able to talk to you and get your feedback.
We said too many red words for Facebook. Like, we clicked like 80 red words in like an hour. And they're like,
shut that bitch down. Shut that bitch the fuck down. It's gotta be
bots. It's Russian bots.
Nah, I mean, people make some rancid shit out here, bro. People make some rancid ass shit out here.
What's in the gray area? Like, just put them on YouTube. Hide them in
We don't want them. We don't want them on Meta. We don't want them on Meta. They're not gonna be. We don't want them. We don't want them on Meta 100%. But I'm not sure what we were talking about before that. But I mean the
gray areas.
Yeah. Like, do you think we could do like an Instagram live? That might be cool. Instagram live might be dope. That might be cool, man. An IG live.
That's a good idea.
I'm not sure. Do you have a platform? We have to look into that.
I started
Do they have
one.
an IG platform?
I started
Let me
one for
know.
us already. We've got one on there.
Yeah.
Just gotta get up on there.
Just go on the
Good
live
idea.
straight up.
Yeah.
You
That'd
just,
be good. That's
you just
good.
take that shit out with you. Just go live
But then it's
wherever.
like
yeah.
like we've got to figure out an easier way for you to do it because you're doing. We're gonna do 3 separate things.
Yeah.
Quick, and then we've got to both go share them. All of them.
I need an IG. Is what you're saying. I need an
You're not
IG.
even on IG.
I'm not even on IG, dog.
You're a horrible publicist.
I'm on Facebook. I tried Snapchat, bro. I cannot get behind no fucking Snapchat, man. It's just not me. It's not for me, bro. You know?
It's 100%.
I remember
You're in a
like
relationship, bro.
I talked to like 2 people on Snapchat, like consistently, had my streak going. I'm just like, yeah, we do this shit fire, we're just going. I was like, what is this? What am I doing? Like, I post a Snapchat while I'm driving. It's just like, some music is
Bro,
driving.
listen. I was talking about it the other day. Like, it all makes sense once you're single. It all just makes sense. You're like, oh,
yeah.
I see.
Yeah, I could get it.
I see what you guys were doing.
Yeah, I gotta stop thinking and start doing more. I want to do. I just acting on this impulse. I want to do like some type of weird videography shit. I was thinking about getting like camera drone and ride my bike around all this bitch and just fucking
like
get
the
some
videos.
film. Yeah, do some type of
that'd
like
be cool.
videography type of like.
That's
You know, like-
what is that? It's like something's following them.
What?
Like, how did they get that drone to follow them? Like,
Those
that?
drones are just precise, bro. And things move
But it
and
does
they're
it
just good.
automatically. Like,
I think some can be
like,
programmed. There's definitely some expensive ass drones out there that can do some
bro,
crazy shit.
People be on motorcycles on the highway with a drone.
There might be someone in a car controlling that with a video.
No,
Because people have the hookup, they see from the camera
Bro, you
directly.
haven't seen all of these videos of people on skateboards, people on those little unicycle machines. Like, you never seen these videos of them out?
I don't think so. No.
Okay, this is a common thing. I'm surprised you didn't know because you were going to be a guy asked about that. But it's definitely, they have something that's like a drone that follows you, bro. 100%. It like sits right, it's too far out to be connected to their head. And it like goes on this angle. And as they move, it follows them, bro. It's not someone with something. It's like guys wear it every day, all day, like bicycling through the city.
Oh yeah, no, I think there's a film crew behind that possibly, and that someone's.
It's not, bro.
Yeah, you have to send me something so I look, because I mean, that's something I can think, because people control those drones. They usually have the camera view on the phone as they're flying through, so they know exactly what they're filming. You can see what
not
they're filming about.
controlling the drones, bro. He's driving a bike. He can't control a drone.
I'm saying someone else might be doing it. There's a team.
Bro, this is him This is a million people doing this, bro.
I'm about to see, bro, because I have
people
no
do
idea.
this with everything. I can't
Yeah.
believe you know what I'm talking about. Like hiking, walking, jobs, welding. Like they literally use this thing for everything. I don't know what it's called, but it's something that
It's a
literally
drone that just follows them.
100%. It's the only way that these videos could be like this, bro. There's not another way.
You got this.
And it's
I'm
not-
so
it's not-
curious now, man.
it's
Like
not a
keep
production.
pulling up. I just want to see. You keep pulling up now. You know,
Like,
I would love to see what you're talking about, because I just don't. You're saying it's in millions of videos. Like I don't fucking know. You know? The only thing, like I said, the only thing I think about is there's some other type of production going into it, or I have no other idea. I mean, I'm sure you can program a drone to follow somebody with like maybe a piece on them
It's gonna be so hard.
that
to,
stays
like,
within
just pull
range
it up.
and just like films them, but to stay locked onto them and to
There's a guy I
get
really watch,
angles
like, all the time.
and to get angles and to fucking track their movement and fly with them the whole time is just, that seems insane. It might be possible. I might be fucking ignorant here. It might be possible 100%.
telling you, bro.
I have no clue, but I want to see, because I want to know before I make this rash judgment. I
Nah,
want to be able to see it. Yeah, I mean,
God damn it. It's so crazy because it's so common, but you know how it is. Like when you're looking.
oh
for
yeah,
it.
yeah. You can definitely like I said, I just don't know how this would be done. That'd be some crazy ass fucking code you're running, But you have self-driving cars. They have LiDAR. You have
It's-
fucking.
I think it's just the programming. God
Yeah,
damn it.
yeah.
It's so.
Yeah.
I'll send you.
Yeah. You have to send me one so I can check it out.
It's bro. They
Because,
do it so many ways. Like it's 100%. It's not. They do it too often every day. They would have to have a production team following them all around for it to be a production team.
I got one guy. One guy.
Every person has one guy, bro. These are.
I mean, I don't
these are
fucking know, man. I don't know.
These are nobodies,
Like I
bro.
said-
These are nobodies with no production team, bro.
Yeah.
It's 100%. They've got a drone system going, dog.
Yeah, I guess I'm just have to see because I have no idea. But I mean, like they had that video of that person that was doing the scenes. It was that Michael Bay movie. It was all
Yeah,
shot on
not
that
that.
fucking drone. I know what you're talking about. I know it's not that. I'm talking about the capability of like what these drones can fucking do now. You know, the racing. They had the race ones too.
hoping you were just gonna know when I talk to you.
Yeah, no. Instead, I was confused and stumped. I was able to offer no input on that
they're
drone.
doing something like that, but they've got something like that. It's exactly what you're talking about. Basically, you would put it like right there. It hovers with you. You ride it and it follows you, dude.
Like I said, I wouldn't be surprised because I mean, like we're so into documenting our own lives now. We all want to be at the center of our own like TV show and like we want our life to be at the center of like attention or something.
And it gets so weird with that, bro. It's like everybody literally. It's fucked up, right? Because like even these videos with like Mr. Beast and like all them other people that just go give away that money and shit. Like basically they're making the person the product.
Yes.
They're doing
The
a good thing
scenarios.
for like this one person this one time, but why don't you keep that money and you give them what you make off the video for that? Like that'd be cool.
Yeah, it seems like with that he just struck some type of glitch in the human mind to where everyone just watches this shit.
Yeah, Mr. Beast ain't as bad as the other guys, but like there's one guy like he went up to these. I was watching. He went up to these garage sales. He bought everything and then he gave it back to them.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
I was
100%.
like, that's just I don't. You're just like finding a person, and then like there was another one that was super weird to me. He went up to a Spanish like immigrant. His children spoke English, but the guy didn't. And like this white guy comes up to them. He's got a boy and two girls with him, children.
Mhm.
And he's like, I'm taking somebody to Disney World today. The first person to say yes. Do you want to go? And like they've got to translate it through the child and shit. And they go to Disney World and like I'm sure the kids had a great time and I'm sure they would never take it back. And I'm not saying it was a bad thing, but to me it was super weird that like he knows who he's going up to. He didn't go up to just like some white person or like some person that looked okay. Like he purposely tried to target this immigrant family to like have that type of video. And then he took them to Disney World and like every ride they're on, like he's got a camera in their face showing them like, oh, look, yeah, his daughter was so happy. Give me a high five. Like, it just seems like you're really like manipulating what you think kindness is. Yeah. It's one thing to be like, oh man, it was so cool. The other day, I seen this guy outside of 7-Eleven. He wanted a coffee. I bought him a coffee and a donut, and he was so happy. That's nothing. You know what I mean? But when you're going to be having your fucking camera in someone's face like, here's a pair of socks. Like, that is the weirdest fucking thing to me, bro.
Yeah. And why do we just love to consume it?
Dude, I've got to take selfies now. And every time I'm in this mirror, I'm like, this is what motherfuckers be doing, bro. I'm just like, this shit feels so awkward. Yeah. You're just like, hey, selfie. Damn. But I also feel awkward asking someone to take a picture of me. So I'm at this point where I would get no pictures if I didn't just take that awkward selfie. You know what I mean?
Gotta get that selfie out the way.
Get it out there,
you gotta bang out the way.
Put your art out there, dog.
Exactly. Yeah. I mean, you just gotta be yourself and just act. You just got. I mean, that's the thing with social media. It's just like there's a persona. It's so odd. It's just. And it's the main form of social interaction. You hop on somebody's stats, you comment on it, you comment on people's photos, you look at you heart their shit, you read through their feed, like you should look at the memes they share. It's the main way you see people on a daily basis, and we don't talk to people outside, man. We don't talk to nobody outside. We don't hold no conversations. I'm trying to figure it out,
Steve. It's crazy because like I swear, bro, we talked. I remember so much. During these first experiences when I was telling you, like, man, I don't want to go to these bars. And like, literally, bro, it's like the one spot where everybody meets up to talk. Like that's, you get drunk and like all of a sudden people have like that social anxiety drops away and kind of opens up for people. And like, dude, I cannot tell you how many people have came up to me and just been like, bro, you're a fucking vibe, dude. Like every time I see you, you're getting it. Like, it's like, we're more open, and I'd be like, what's your name, man? Have a snap. What's up? What you doing? You live down here, like it's just so cool. You just make a connection and it takes you somewhere else. And like, I've met more people in like 30 days than I met in 3 years, bro. It's crazy. And like now, like you're following these people on social media, they're following you, and like you meet up again in the future. I'm like, that's how you make friends, bro. We were wondering how you make friends. You go to social places like bars, bro. And it's why people go there, is the truth, dude. And it just loosens people up.
Yes.
If we had a smoke shop, I'd be there. You know,
100%,
but we don't.
100%,
We don't.
yeah.
So you go to these bars, it's like, okay, well, now we had a couple beers. We can really be like honest and open.
I remember there was a couple times me and Tyler would go to this hookah bar, the one on Eastern. They used to be there. I forgot what I forgot what it was called.
Pie Glass Grill?
No, it was down there in Highlandtown. The hookah, yeah, it was a hookah lounge in Highlandtown. It was like a restaurant at the bottom, and you go up top. There was a little lounge up top. I remember we go up there. Me and Tyler would go there every once in a while, and pretty much in this little hookah lounge, like everyone just cutting shit up. There's a bunch of people in there. It's a small room, and everybody's cutting it up with each other in there. Like, I mean, like of course there's regulars. They all talk to each other, but like you walk in, they talk to you. It's such a small room. You can't ignore people in here. You know, you cannot ignore people in here. It's just like you just everyone just out around talking about, listening to each other, listening to other people talk and telling stories and shit. All these areas are so nice for people. That's why you go to like. That's why I've always said you just. It's not just about going to the events that you like. You have to make an active, choice to go out and meet people and talk to people and spark up conversation. And I think some people will think that they're not good at it, and that's the only way you're going to get good at it. So you got to get that out of the way quick.
I fucking bro.
It's okay if things don't click.
I've thought about that a lot, and that's definitely something I've learned over this last month. Let's say is that just because you were somewhere or did something, don't mean you experienced it, bro.
No,
you were there, but if you didn't interact, then it wasn't an experience.
Yeah,
you were held back and withdrawn, and even if you liked it, it was half of what it could have been if you just would have been more engaged in the moment. And being present for the moment means nothing. You have to engage in the moment.
You have to engage and live within the moment. It's just about a moment of time where you're somewhere, and really it's the people who make those moments, and what you do with those moments with other people is really what makes it fun.
It goes so fast too, bro.
And when you're sitting there and everyone's just talking, you're fucking laughing, you're crying out of your eyes, you're laughing hard as fuck, you're having a good time, everyone's having a blast, and also like those heart-to-hearts, that you have with between people. Those are the ones you really remember. Those are the ones that fulfill you, spiritually, and and it's all around probably just good for you to have that moment with other people, because you can't have that moment with yourself. You can't recreate that moment with yourself.
No, and there's also like a magic to like us both agreeing that the moment is what it is, right? Like we've done that a few times, especially on psychedelics, which does make me bring you back to what you were saying about that. But like about how like there's like we've never done that outside of psychedelics, bro, me and you, but we've done that plenty of times with psychedelics where we both kind of understand what that current second is to both of us. Matter we were on that fucking beach out there, her house, or not the fucking beach, the lawn chairs by the pool. Matter we were out there, bro, or we were in that car, or we were at the festival. Like we always had at least one moment where we would just look at each other and this is kind of like, sure, we'd be quiet for a second, 10 minutes go by, 2 minutes go by, and you're like, whew, and it's like, yeah, that was that for me too. We've never done that outside of a psychedelic, bro.
Yeah.
And that's what I'm talking about with like the recovery possibilities of it. Now, can I sit here and say that like psychedelics is everyone's answer? No. But I can tell you what, I'm 100% in agreement that of all the options we have, psychedelics is far superior. Far superior.
100%.
That's going to be our therapist that can't get therapists. Like I said, everybody can't have a 1 hour session, but we can get people psychedelics.
It's and leave them in a safe room, in an environment. Be
with your friends, bro.
And even
be with your friends. Do psychedelics with the people you love.
And talk. And talk and be open.
You're gonna reach levels you've never reached. Understanding
100%.
things. It's just the truth. Bro. I don't care how hippie it sounds.
and we can we can grow this. This is something that you can just naturally grow it and give it to you. And you just take these couple of mushroom capsules, and its ability to strip away that defensive stance and guard that
The
people
ego,
have up.
bro.
It just the way it boils you
Just
down,
gone.
and
You're
you're
just like, why
under
are you homeless?
you're under pure bliss,
I'll give you 2 hours.
and you're open, and it's like the ultimate locking in of being alive and being aware of your livingness in every like vulnerable second that you're alive. It locks you into that moment of yours, like the last second of the matter, last second of the matter, last second of the matter. And it's like that ability it resets you, that ability to reset you like that, where it just keeps you open and honest.
You don't even remember what a second ago was.
No.
How many times have we been like, what the fuck are we talking about?
Yeah. No, 100%.
Gone,
and you're just talking and you're gone. So
that's like, it's like while we kind of was having that convo, I always go back to like, when we were like, I've done that a lot where like, I'll enjoy any experience on these hallucinogens or whatever. I'll enjoy any experience. So there's been times where I've not wasted, but I've talked my whole trip to one person, a person I've never seen again. I could have been talking to my friends. I could have went and danced. That's what I was talking about with that, like, that thing, I forget the festival, the fucking Reese or whatever. Reef.
The Reef.
Like, that's what I was saying. I'm like,
it could be that.
I'm like, I've done this so many times, bro. Where like, if I want to, I can take this and I'll go out on that dance floor for 10 hours and see nobody again, and I'll love it. Or I'll take this and meet 30 people and have 2-hour conversations or 20-minute conversations with each one. Or I meet 3 people with 2-hour conversations. I can do any of it. I've done all of that, but like, you really have to understand. I'm like, okay, this moment is only gonna last but so long, right? We go out there at 6 o'clock. You're like, damn, I got all night. Then it's 12 o'clock. This moment's gonna
10
last.
hours later, you're just like,
bro, you're like, how the fuck is it 2 o'clock and I don't even remember talking to someone?
You're like 5 hours in. You're just like, oh, damn, only 5 hours in.
Or you're like, you're like 6 hours in. You're like, damn, all I did was talk to people. Like, you know, like you're always on this side of where you can just choose any which way, but you have to choose. That's what I've learned. Is choose which way you want to go. Don't just go.
Because your ability to bounce around.
It's too easy, you know? So instead of being like, this is what I'm thinking about, let me stay on it. Choose if you want to stay on it. That's all.
Yeah, 100%. And I mean, like, you know, sometimes you just have to go through that motion, you know, like there's times and points in some of my trips where like, it's like almost like the acid's taking, or like the psychedelic is like kind of like taking control. And then you're just like, you know, like you just went down that path real quick. It's just, you're just jumping, and then you're just like, okay. And then someone comes over and else is tripping like you're just like, what could be that kind of like breaks you out of that feedback loop almost. It's like a feedback loop. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like keep kind of like running that track, just keep under your mind.
That's why it's so bad for like negative mindset, bro.
Oh,
because
you just reinforce that.
Yeah,
just reinforce that, man. Hell yeah, man.
Like if somebody could, like you could be on like the best trip of your life, bro. A stranger could just come up to you and be like, I bet inside you're a shitty person. And walk away. Bro, that will torment you. God. That would literally personally. I'll be like, oh my God. Why would someone say, why? Where? I've done this. I've done that. But you are this. But you are that. Yeah, you know, like it's like you can just bind yourself to that motherfucker and like it mean nothing.
Yeah, and that's why like there probably should be like some type of shaman in the room. You know, it's like at times like
we always say all these like doctors and shamans, but really it's just your friend.
It's just your buddy.
It's just if somebody said that to you. Well, I'd be like, bro, who the fuck is that guy? You know what I mean? Fuck him, dude. I don't think anyone's He's having a bad trip.
I'm a shaman. I'm a shaman. Oh, that's what I know. I'm not a fucking shaman.
Listen, motherfucker.
As far as I'm concerned, we're two shamans talking to each other right now, okay?
Exactly. I just was like, fuck that guy, okay? No,
I didn't appreciate you putting words tonight. I fucked it all up. We're just talking here, dog.
It would even be better if he just said both. It's like both you probably shitty people. That one is like, fuck you.
Yeah, who the fuck is this guy? No. It's like
like your sister was like, you're being shitty.
Why do you make such a rash judgment? Please tell me.
Well, that's how I be feeling. I swear. That's how I feel.
Explain.
That's how I feel with the girls. It's like girls, women. What do you say, right?
Oh man, look.
It's like
ladies.
Why are you
Yeah.
jumping to so many conclusions? Well, like we said, I understand why you jump to conclusions because there's always that underlying sexual factor.
Well,
so how
well-
do we get past that?
Well, not only that, but how we draw the line of what is appropriate to tell somebody. Because me, goddamn it, the harsh truth to me is better than me jumping to conclusions with no type of factual evidence. I mean, like,
Yeah.
you know, I mean, like, of course, you see how people move. You can make that all day, and you can realize when someone's just not into you, you know, and that's okay. And you're able to separate that and move on. Hopefully, this is
Sometimes
but
it's hard.
but
But
100%, you know, but
It depends
don't
on
be leaving me
what it
to
is.
like assume things like the open communication and the uncomfortable conversations that we always talk about is just so key. It is just so key to be able just to talk to people.
But like just think about this, right? Think about like, all right.
Yeah, which I'm choking this bitch.
think about like any guy. I'm not even gonna say just me. I really think it's probably any guy, right? No matter how attractive he is, like if a woman came up to him of any sort, right, any attractive level, and started talking to him, he would talk to her. I really do believe that. I'm not saying he would fuck her or go home with her or even take her number. But like if a woman approaches any man of any standard, 0 through 10, that man's gonna talk to her.
Yes,
You know, and entertain the convo for a second.
100%.
Women are not the same. Women have it set that like this guy wants to have sex with me, and like I said, I don't blame them. But you know, clearly, they're like, and they're gonna shoot it straight off the hip of like, no,
Yeah.
no, like they're gonna tell you
But
yes or no.
You feel like, but I think most guys feel as if a woman was to spark off a conversation with them out of the blue just to come onto them, that is probably them coming onto them.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I understand it, and it's fair. But like, guys will at least give any woman the decency of like shooting her shot. You see what I mean? Like, shoot your shot, shorty. I might not be with you, but you can come up and talk to me and be like, "I'm feeling you. What's your number?" And I might even give it to you. You see what I mean?
Yeah.
But like, a badass bitch, some ugly guy comes up to her. She doesn't even give him the time of day.
No.
It's just like,
No.
no.
Yeah.
You see what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like it's not.
I mean, the
not the
dudes
same.
also dog. You know, I mean, they
Bro,
definitely get on. You
I'm
know,
telling you, bro, really not, dude. Think about it, bro. Like, think about the most attractive guy you've ever met. If literally the ugliest woman came up to him and was like, "Hey, what's your name?" He wouldn't tell her it. You know what I mean? Like, we don't really feel no type of way about that. We don't feel no type of way about being like, "Oh, you're attracted to me. I'm not attracted to you, so go." Right? But for women, it's like, I can't even believe you came up and asked me my name. I'm not attracted to you. You see what I mean? Like,
there's always that one. There's always this one like, "Oh, sweetie."
Like, and it's crazy because you could strike on 49 women, and that one woman just let you down so hard you can't forget about it, bro.
Yeah, I mean, like
we even know me,
and me and you, I think we've found some women that we've seen around the street or that we might even know attractive, and you're not sure why, you know, because conventionally they're probably not attractive, but for some reason you felt some attraction towards that person.
Mhm.
You can't explain that sometimes, you know, just like you're like looking at that person, it's like, okay, I can't pinpoint why, but would love to have sex with you, you know, but they may not be attractive, you know, what you would normally consider your type. And I'm not sure what that one is that you, when you see someone and you just immediately feel that, and not sure why, you know, it's like they call it the love at first sight.
Well,
what is that?
I told you, I told you about it over the weekend. I called you up, you know, I'm sitting there and I'm like, okay, I'm looking at these pictures and they're just doing something, you know? And it's not even like, it's not like no supermodel or nothing like that, you know? Like, I was just looking, I'm like, damn, it's like, is this God trying to tell me something through a phone? You know what I mean? Like, that's
feeling?
That's really what I was thinking. And
Yeah.
like, I mean, it wasn't.
Oh, I'm saying, like, how to explain that? I'm just saying.
Oh, right.
You're saying
I have no idea what that was. but you know, I met up, and not to say it was the worst scenario ever, but it didn't have that charm to it that you thought would come with what you were feeling, I guess. You know, and that's not her fault.
Can you?
That's my fault.
is, I mean, to an extent, seeing
I
through a
think-
phone, of course, can only do so much. Is that
Bro, and
seeing a person?
filtered up, dude,
Yeah.
too. And not even saying like that made her prettier. You know what I mean? Not even saying like she was an ugly girl that was using filters, but just like those filters definitely add some type of feeling to the photo, like of happiness. And then when I was in the scenario, I didn't feel like there was much happiness.
Oh, that
You
that,
know?
that video was iconic, man. That was a fucking. I don't even know. I don't know why. It just it's just the ending. I was like, man, this guy.
It's crazy because I went out and had a great night. You know what I mean? So you shoot your shot, bro. I'm going places.
Yeah, exactly.
I put myself.
Exactly.
I put
And that's all you
myself
can
in the
do.
spot.
You
The opportunities-
you will miss that.
Listen, if
You
she
make a
doesn't
mistake.
win, you know what I mean? Absolute fucking dime. Okay?
Fucking-
I'm fucking dime to 10. And she can't recognize when the man of her dreams walked through the door. Then whose problem is that? Is that my problem or her problem?
Man, look, some people like they just there's some. I think there's someone out there for everybody, and someone will find you attractive. Now, I think there are some definitely worst case scenarios, and that's tough. But
Like-
for the most part, I think someone will always have someone out there that they can always link
Yeah.
up with.
Yeah, no
And someone
matter
will
what
look at
you
you
look
and be
like.
like, "Hey, you're cute," you know.
Ain't it funny though, like when I was going to ask you, like, you go to that hookah bar, you're talking about with Tyler, you wear your fittest gear. You try to look good though, right? Like it's crazy. Like when you know that like it's open mating season all the time, like all of a sudden you care what you look like. It's weird, bro.
Oh yeah, well,
So when they're like, oh, you know, listen, I'm gonna tell you, I'll bet you some truth. When these women are like, yeah, my husband doesn't care what he wears. Well, no, because he's with you. So he doesn't care what he looks like. But I guarantee you, if he was single, he would go shop for himself. He wouldn't have you doing all his shopping.
yes,
He's
he
gonna
would.
go-
He's
you
going
know
to
what I
dress
mean?
a little,
Like,
lot nicer.
He's gonna
Yeah.
check his hair
Yep.
in the mirror.
Yeah.
You know, make sure the hygiene's better. Like,
Yeah,
it's just-
100%.
it's like
Yeah.
you're open. It's like a mating call. almost,
Exactly.
You
You
know?
need to be clean. You need to take care of yourself. You know, when it's
Well,
open
like, it's
season.
like
You take
peacock
yourself at all
feathers.
times,
It's like
you know?
peacocking.
Yes,
right?
yes,
It's like,
100%.
oh,
And you're putting out that.
look.
Yeah. And it just like how some animals dance. You're dancing. It's just like,
Yeah.
oh yeah.
Yeah, look.
And then
Look.
And she comes over and shakes her rump at him.
She's like,
This is how they know they will have sex tonight.
No,
It's
not
just like,
Not
like
bad.
it's yeah. I mean, we are nothing but some fucking crazy animals,
This horn dog.
and
Horn dogs.
the things that drive us like that. I mean, we are attracted to the same types of things that animals do. We're like, look, the baboon, the more swollen the butt. It's like, us, we're looking at the butt, we're just like, it's playing that bitch, man. It's like, it's pulling you in. It's sucking you in. Next thing you know, you're across the room, you're just like, it's literally like, we all felt that crazy animal inside us. You've seen the thickest bitch ever. And just been
Thickest baboon.
Yeah, you went primal for a split second. I hope we've all had some sex where it made you feel primal for a brief moment. Where you feel the fucking pound your chest. Like there's something there, man.
Why do we bite?
And it's fucking
Everybody
crazy.
bites during
And
sex,
there's some
right?
crazy shit in there.
I hope. Everybody bites during sex. That's straight up a primal release of like.
I think most people would agree that they enjoy some type of like pain on them, some scratch, people digging your back and shit like that.
Something, yeah.
100, yeah. You make the noises, you moan. It's just like there's all these things that just trigger us.
Why do you think
You
that
know?
some women can take like the hardest smack on the ass and some women can't take like the slightest slap? Nerve endings,
Nerves, or just their,
ass ability.
or I mean, some like it harder than others. Some want welts. Some just want wherever gets you off, wherever pings that thing in your head. Sometimes people want that fucking full choke, fucking black eye type shit.
No, I'm saying like sometimes it seems like they might even want it harder, but they physically are incapable of getting smacked on their ass like that.
Oh, sure.
And then you'll smack an ass.
That shit be
You'll
hurting.
smack an ass on a girl, be like harder.
That shit.
And then you'll smack it harder. And then It's not even a scream.
It's-
you know, so
It's
I always wonder, like, is some of you just got a higher pain threshold, or what's going on there? And we was
I
talking
could
about with those
almost
nuts.
kind of like boil it down to like how like you do like with a flavor palette, where you balance out that sour bitterness with some fucking sweet. Like you balance out that sweet with some bitterness, some fucking sour, blah.
Well,
And sometimes a bitch will love just that fucking slow stroke you. You just slow stroke. You're fucking then up some R&B Marvin Gaye type shit. Like like you're all over the place. Whatever you're feeling, you know what I'm saying? Everyone's vibing at different things. Some people want to be in full leather gimp suits, and it's just, hey,
you gotta let people get off.
Yeah. Your brain's just a crazy fucking pleasure trigger sometimes.
It's everything, bro.
And some things, bro.
No, if you could not listen, if tomorrow I told you had no dick, would you want to live?
Yeah, probably not, man.
See what I mean? That's how much power
those
it has.
experiences be pretty.
That's how much power it has. No, it's not only because of that experience, bro. It's because secretly everything you do in life is fueled by that. That's the truth, bro. Like your entire entity and day starts with the mechanism. And I think it goes for women too. I think you really
everybody need it.
It's kind of like, and I'm talking about like the chemicals that are being produced from it.
Yes.
Which leads to like what? Wants, right? Like I've got to, I need to mate. So then I need to
thirsty.
look good. Oh, but then I got to work so that I can look good. Oh, but then I got to go out. Oh, so I need a car.
Thirsty.
Now I've got a car and I'm buying clothes and I've got a job. And it's all just to get to mating. I didn't want to do none of that shit.
No.
I just want to mate. These were the requirements. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and there's a long list of them. But I mean, that's what you have to have your things together. You have to be clean. You got to be presentable. You got to take care. These are just positive things that reflect in how you present yourself. I mean, he's obviously investing in his appearance. He's worried about how. I mean, it's like these are typically good signs.
In his appearance.
And he's, you get those outfits, you get those shoes. Yeah, I mean, like. And no, I don't think anybody.
It's weird, dog. Like literally overnight, I enjoyed shopping. I never liked it in a relationship, even if I did it for myself. Like I never liked it. It was almost like there was no point.
What you're doing now, you're dressing yourself up. You're making yourself feel good. You're making yourself feel good.
And why didn't that do that for me though? Why didn't that do that for me?
I mean,
it's weird. All of a sudden, like. It's like you're this person hiding underneath of that,
Yeah.
And all of a sudden you just don't do any of the things that you did, and you start questioning why you were doing that stuff, bro, and why didn't you like these things? Like I don't want to go too much into detail here, but I was talking to my sister the other day, and she's like, "It's weird that you couldn't do these things before." It's like, well, there was other stipulations that came with them when I did those. Now it's just like I'm my own responsibility. So I can go, be whoever I want to be and do whoever I want to do. And like, if I fuck up or something, I can only embarrass myself or make myself look stupid. Instead, like, you're always worried about if you're going to make that other person look this way. That's how I really thought about things. And like, you don't always necessarily want to do like what that person wants to do too, but you find a way to like be in that moment with them by doing something else.
Yes.
So like you're with them, but you're scrolling your phone. It's like little things like that where like all of a sudden I'm not scrolling my phone. All of a sudden I'm not on the game. All of a sudden I don't watch TV. All of a sudden I don't need a podcast. All of a sudden I'm not in the news column. Like literally a completely different person because like, simply the fact of like, I was worried about two people locked into that thought and not looking for no one else. The moment that changes, you're like, well, now I'm trying to show everyone who I am. Well, who are you? Well, I'm not that guy because I don't want to do that. I don't want to play 3 hours of games a night. Mm-hmm. So I know I'm not that guy. So like, then you're like, damn, well, who is this that I'm currently inventing? Is this a new person? No. This is somebody who's always been there, but you adapt your life because you were two.
It's not the me, it's the we.
You were exactly.
Yeah, you're a we.
So now me, it's like, oh, now you can peacock. You know, now you could go out there and show like your own self-expression. It's really weird, man. It's weird. Like literally it feels like overnight you just become like a new person. And
Yeah.
like shit that you used to do just don't make sense no more. And you want to do other things, and like they bring you way more joy and happiness. It's weird, bro.
Yeah.
It really
Well, I
is
mean,
weird,
it's
man.
like, it's just you when you are just you. It's like, well, when I'm alone, who am I? When I'm not with because it's like, what they say about like Schrodinger's cat. You put a cat and poison in a box, and then until you open the box, the cat is both alive and dead because you don't know what's in the box.
Yeah.
So it's like when you're alone and there's no one else experiencing this and with you, it's like you act different. It's like how they look at corks and shit. When they observe these things, they're doing something different than when they're not observing them.
Yeah.
So when it's just you and there's no one else observing this thing, I mean, it's like they say, you dance dance like no one's looking.
I see
Dance like no one's watching.
I seen a great saying that was similar to that, where this guy was talking about your universe is your desires. You see the universe as what you desire. So if me and you go through a town and you're hungry, you're gonna see donut shops and pizza parlors and restaurants, right?
What you're looking for.
And then like for me, if my car has a sound in the engine that's knocking, I'm going to look and see gas stations and mechanic shops, right? And by the time we get through that town, we would have seen two different towns. Yeah, like
that's beautiful. That's beautiful.
It's pretty crazy.
Yeah.
It is.
Yeah.
It's pretty crazy when you think about it. Like, that is how it works. Like, you know how many times you've experienced, like, especially a festival. That's a great example of being like, remember this? Oh no, this is how I seen it. Oh no, this is how it went. No, this is how it went. Because you both experience like the same thing different ways.
Exactly.
Or
Yep. And you see it differently. You feel it differently. You seek different things and out of these particular experiences. And it's like that's the one that is like, you have to go out and live in your life and just experience it how you want to experience it and feel it and take other people's experiences with you. And you want just to live for once. You want to be alive. It's being alive almost. It's fulfilling, all the things that like we should all thrive to do. Just interact with, like, meet someone new every day, talk to someone new every day, because that's the way we connect and grow and just build ideas. And
instead we're just shelled up, bro. We're shelled
it's
up.
you go back to the cutoff individualism. Individualism is huge. Now, of course, you have to be yourself. But you can't get done without anybody.
I think a lot of people can't be alone with themselves. That's the
a
thing,
lot
man.
of people, yeah.
Then you have to face those like the harsh truths of yourself.
Yeah, because
like damn, I can't even entertain myself.
And that's where they say like the people they have the. It's all about like you were saying about the desire about what you truly have like meaning for, what you truly have meaning for. And with a lack of that, people distract themselves with the pleasures, the mindful TV shows, the reels, the prank videos, the Mr. Beast, the bad girls.
It makes me think about how like say you had a house, right? And every morning you're out getting the mail and I'm walking by to work on your street. And like every single day that I come by you, I'm smiling cheek to cheek. And I wave at you and I say, how you doing? And I walk away. And from the moment that I walk away from you to the moment that I see you the next day, I am miserable. My wife hates me. I'm a cheater. I'm an abuser, right? I'm all of these, right? Here you are. I'm living my life like that. And then here you are, you're living your life. And every time you're having a sad moment, you're thinking about this one person that walks by for 1 second and is always happy. Oh, well, I need to be more like that person. You think you need to be more like that person when really you're only 1% unhappy and 99 happy. But you think because this person said to you is 100% happy, right? So you're like, why would I ever be sad? That person's always fucking happy. You can't even grasp things like that, bro. It's so fake. Everything is so fucking fake.
100%. Like, you always said it best, but it's like you haven't even talked to a real person out here. Because you haven't. All this shit that we are currently worried about and like the things that we stress about in the day-to-day life are just things that are completely fabricated. You know, things
Shackled up, hindered
things
down.
100%. And then we all were brought up in kind of a broken system, and the broken people that are left to dealt with the pieces of what they were kind of brought up in the environment in. And it's all about people taking the the initiative and trying to create and wave an alternate lifestyle, because I mean there are people, there are definitely dreamers and visioners and people who see the world differently and try to enact and focus on these things where they see these problems and try to better them in some way, shape, or form and fight for those things every day. But
we're gonna keep fucking fighting, okay, Steve?
fight the power.
We're gonna keep fucking fighting. Thank you all checking us out. We've went a little late today. We had some technical issues earlier. Okay, we're getting shit figured out in here. Room's coming together. Behringer, fuck you. I think you fucked on Behringer. It's a sweet deal for some reason. They're selling this big one for $100. Who paid for those reviews? Fucking bots. I know that was fucking bot reviews. Love you all. 176 episodes later.
Like, share, subscribe, check us out. Thank you guys so much.
We're free right now.
Free in it. You can drop that bitch. Don't drop it.
Don't you dare.